All right, guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? We have a few folks here from different parts tuning in on different live streams. So I just want to say welcome, welcome. Please type in the chat where you are joining from. I'm so excited we are all here together tonight. And as we open up, okay, I see, where are we from? Okay, Central Florida, Texas, Texarkana, okay, California. All right, all right. We got Virginia. Okay, we got Boston in the house. Let's go. Okay, amazing, amazing. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome, purpose-driven parents and families. I'm so excited you guys are here, and I just want to encourage you. This is not just another parenting or summer activity random webinar. This is something I'm so excited to share with you guys. And what I'm curious about is go ahead and just put in the chat, put ready if you're excited to explore what is possible when faith meets entrepreneurship for the next generation. Go ahead and just light up that chat. Okay, amazing. I'm seeing ready. Awesome. Wow, you guys are lit. Let's go. Okay, so as we kick it off, I want to open up the question and just dive right in. Is that cool? Is that cool? Okay, amazing. Okay, what is one thing that you really, really want for your child this summer? Go ahead and put some answers in the chat. What are some things that you really, really want this summer for you and your children? Like, what kind of summer do you want to have? Okay. All right. I'm seeing some. Okay. So productive. Okay. Connection. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay. Connected summer. Productive. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Fun. It's fun with the family. Yes. Okay. What else? What else? What else? One where my children aren't beating each other up. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No sibling rivalry, please. That's a hard word. No sibling rivalry, please. Okay. Amazing. Awesome. Looking forward to family vacation and my kids doing their summer reading skills to stay on top of their schooling. Okay. Cool. Okay. Amazing. Awesome. Okay. So again, what are some, just curious, keep putting things in the chat. I want to see this. What are some things you're really, really, really wanting for your children this summer? Okay. All right. I want to help them to learn 21st century skills so that they can participate and stand out from the crowd. I want to pour confidence into my girls so that they know who they are, they know what they stand for. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Amazing. I love all of this. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much. I want to introduce myself. Hi, everybody. My name is Ruthie Sontag, and I'm a master certified life coach. I'm also a creative consultant, and I was an educator for 8 years in the public school system, and I'm your guide today. And I'm just really, really excited to be here with you guys. And I want to share with you guys something that I truly believe is really powerful. As I was an educator for 8 years in the public school system, and I've, transitioned from education to entrepreneurship, I have seen something really powerful happening in the world today. And I believe that the future is online business and children, and we should develop both. You could develop an online business and you could develop your children, and you could also develop your children for online business. So hope you guys are staying with me here, because your kids are so powerful. Your kids are amazing. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But your kids deserve this summer to have more than just screen time and endless social media this summer. I was a middle school teacher in Akron Public Schools, and we have more folks coming in. Hold on here. All right. I was a middle school teacher at Akron Public Schools for 8 years, and I've seen firsthand like what happens when brilliant, creative kids are left without vision. I've seen what happens firsthand when children are left without focus, direction, and vision. They don't typically flourish, they typically flounder. And that's most of us, right? When we do not have a vision, we flounder, we don't flourish. And so this summer, what would it look like? Or whenever you're watching this, because you might be watching this after the fact, what would it look like to give yourself and your children some structure? What would that look like to give yourself some structure? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What would it look like to have structure for your summer? Structure for your children, appointments, guidance, vision. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I saw firsthand working with students what it looks like when there is no direction, this is kind of like, all right, kids, you had the summer. All right, guys, you did your best to get through the school year, and now it's just kind of a free for all. And what happens with free for alls is, with it being free for all, we kind of become all over the place, loosey goosey. I call it, in education, we called it the summer slide. And with the summer slide, we tend to diminish our skills, our accuracy with remembering things, recalling things, doing well, and we get kind of lazy. And that happens to all of us, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, without structure, without vision, without purpose, we tend to flounder, not flourish. And I saw this again firsthand with children lacking direction and not having the right resources and tools available to them. However, when you and when your children have the right resources available to them, when you and your children have the right resources available to them, these brilliant minds, your brilliant mind, you are able to create incredible results, have incredible direction, tools, results, and resources, and you, my friend, are truly unstoppable. You become truly unstoppable, as well as your kids. And I'm here because I believe, again, the future belongs to the faith-filled families that are raising up leaders, that are raising up creators, that are stepping in and making a difference. It's one thing to be a follower, it's another thing to have others follow you because you're a leader, you're pioneering, you're taking charge. And I believe that the next wave of kingdom entrepreneurs won't just come from the boardroom. They're going to come from your living room. Let's say that together. The next wave of kingdom entrepreneurs won't just come from the boardroom. They'll come from our living rooms. You, my friend, are sitting on amazing and incredible ideas. You have a passion, you have a calling, you have a purpose. And I'm so excited to see you implement that, to see it flourish in your own life. I want to share with you a few things, and you guys are lighting up the chat. I love it. I love it. Yes. Yes. We want to have a flourishing summer. Yes. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Productive, prosperous. Yes, I don't want my children to be in the squirrel hole all summer. Without structure, we do flounder. Yes, amen. I want to share with you guys what is like happening right now. So we are in a transition from the old way to the new way. Like there's an old way of doing things, and then there's a new way of doing things. But I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys kind of how summers typically could have looked in the past. So the old way would be like the screen time summer, right? The screen time summer, goals, vision, structure, it's real loosey-goosey, right? Goals, vision, structure could be real loosey-goosey. So this would look like the kids, everyone sleeping in really late, scrolling on their devices, till their brains like turn to mush. You know what I'm talking about? Who's ever done that? Who's ever scrolled? Let's just be honest, confession time. Who's ever scrolled to where it's like your brain just feels like scrambled eggs, right? And that's not good for our creativity. It's not good for our nervous system. It's not good for dopamine release. There's a lot more that goes into that, but just that's what a summer could look like without any structure. Is just like sleeping in too late, endless scrolling that turns the brain to mush, playing games, binging screens, Netflix, movies on end, no schedule, no goals, no growth. And that's the part that scares me like the most, the no schedule, the no goals, and the no growth, because that creates like this summer slide between school years, whether you're a homeschooler, whether you're a private or public schooler, whether you're an adult, without having a season with some structure, even if it's a loose structure, we end up losing a lot of ground and momentum. And it's easier to maintain momentum than to regain it once it has been lost. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in seasons of rest. I believe in a vacation. I believe in all that Sabbath good stuff. However, I'm talking about like taking months and months off with no structure, no goals, no growth, and it diminishing our momentum entirely. But there is a new way. This is the exciting news. There's a new way. Right now, we are living in one of the biggest shifts in history. Okay, put shift in the comment section, blow it up. We are living in one of the greatest times in history. We are living in what's called the creator economy and the digital business landscape. This is where the digital business landscape is wide open. Where you or myself, we can join in on this creator economy, which, by the way, is doing billion with a B, $1 billion a day. People are making in the creator economy every single day. There's $1 billion moving. This is coaching. This is digital products. This is masterminds, selling e-courses. The e-learning economy is larger now than ever before. Ever before. And I'm hoping that you guys are kind of waking up to this so you guys can get in on it. And the coolest thing is that kids can start businesses right now from their tablets and from their laptops. Your children, you could do it, and it's so easy. Your children could do it. You could start selling digital products. You could sell. I mean, of course, the old other business model is physical products, not digital products, and both are possible. Growing up, I'm not sure about you, but growing up, I always had a job. My brothers and I, we had a business called Lawn Boys, and our slogan was grass or snow, we shovel and mow. And I had my own roster of yards I took care of. I edged, I mowed, I raked, I leaf blew, all of it so that I could have my own book of business, my own money that I managed, my own checks that I would cash at the bank, and then I would tithe off of my checks. I would save things. I started babysitting after that. I started selling art out of my trunk. When I was in high school and in college, I did some custom art pieces. I launched a t-shirt company. I then had a W-2 job where I was a teacher for 8 years, and then I stepped out of that into full-time entrepreneurship, where I've been creating programs and products and services that serve people at a higher level. And I'm excited, ignited, and delighted to share with you what's possible for you in this space. So this is the new way. This is the new way. We are living in the biggest shift in history. The creator economy is here to stay, doing $1 billion a day of business. The digital landscape is wide open. Things are only going to become more and more digital. They're only going to become more and more faster, right? Things are going to adapt faster. And in our current education system, they're not teaching those skills that are necessary for children, in my opinion, to the education system is not teaching the skills necessary to thrive in today's economy. According to Daniel Priestley, who wrote a bunch of great best-selling books, Oversubscribed, Key Person of Influence, a few other amazing books, he was mentioning how our education system was designed for a world that no longer exists. Someone just put ouch in the chat. Yes, ouch. That is an ouch. Yes. A lot of us, someone just wrote, yeah, I feel burnt by the education system. Yes, I feel like our education system, to some extent, it got an F at preparing us for life. But right now there's this new shift, this new wave. And the cool thing about this is your children can do it. You can do it from the comfort of your living room and your laptop. And the barrier to entry in this economy is lower than ever. But here's where it gets tricky. The distractions are louder than ever. So low barrier, loud distractions. Put that in the comments. Low barrier to entry, large distractions. And when we get really distracted, we don't finish things. We don't drive them through to completion. So here's this new economy that you could jump into for you and your children. And you don't need more noise. You just need a guide. Like, that's how you navigate through all the noise to not be distracted. You need a guide. Someone's going to help you stay focused, stay dialed in. And so with this new economy, there's so much as possible for you and your children. There's so much as possible. Whether you want to start a business for yourself, mom or dad, whether you want to you help your child start a business. And this is ideally, I'm sharing ideally an opportunity that would be great for kids that are like 8 and up. And I've had a few people ask me, like, what about like my teenager? What about like my 20-something-year-old? This would work for them too. Trust me. So I want to share with you guys an opportunity I'm putting together for you all to help you get in the game of the creator economy, help you take advantage of this, gain momentum, not have the summer slide where your child loses all of their educational or academic momentum. Now, again, I just kind of want to say something real quick. I do think our education system is, in some regard, missing it, teaching skills that aren't relevant. However, I do highly, highly believe in education, in development, and in bettering yourself, and constantly working on yourself. And I would encourage you to invest in yourself because you are your highest ROI. You are your highest return on investment, and your second highest ROI is your children, the legacy you leave, making sure your last name means something, and helping your young people that are around you and or you or yourself fortify your family, fortify your finances, and create meaningful change in the world. So I want to share with you guys about an opportunity called the Kingdom Business Bootcamp that I'm putting together to serve you guys, to help you get into this creator economy, to fortify your family with some finances, to learn how to make and manage money, as well as, really block out those distractions that would cause you to get stuck, to help you really narrow in, decide, implement, and create revenue, create income. So I want to share with you some things that happen when we don't avoid the summer slide, and so, what happens when we can actually choose to pick a better path. So when we don't put some things in place, which I will share about an opportunity coming up that you guys can hop into. When we don't put things in place, what happens is we become what I call is a drifter. We become a drifter. This is like where you or your child, without a schedule, without vision, without a guide, the day just drifts by. We just like let life drift by. And there's this sinking feeling of like disappointment and frustration because we didn't assign meaning to our day and make progress. Tony Robbins always says that what makes you happy is progress. Progress is what makes you happy. And so when we're not moving the needle every day on something, we tend to not feel amazing about ourselves. And the same thing happens with children. We need to be, creating and mentally stimulated in a way that produces needle moving activity, even if it's just like little things like making your bed, or making a meal and then cleaning up after it, right? Making your space look a little bit better, having plans, having like just seeing progress happen. Without it, we actually begin to become depressed. That's what happens when we let our days just drift by. Another thing is that when we're just constantly in the scroll hole, we are receiving so many open tabs in our mind that that's not really good for your brain. Because what's happening is you're getting a new dopamine hit every 3 seconds. And if we don't actually harness those creative ideas or feelings or emotions that pop up, we tend just to actually get bogged down and overwhelmed because we're got too many tabs open in our brain. We're overloading our system. And when we're constantly scrolling and we're not creating, we're not sowing any good seed out in the world that could grow and harvest. We're actually just sowing to ourselves potentially comparison, stress, and feelings of obligation to do things based on the ideas that we have not yet implemented. Another thing is when we're a drifter, we're waiting for clarity instead of choosing a direction. We're waiting for clarity instead of choosing a direction. And this can be really detrimental to our confidence as well as what we produce in the world. And so anyways, what I'm encouraging is that we do the opposite of being a drifter. We become a builder. A little bit more about drifters is they lack strategy. They believe that we'll just kind of figure it out eventually. It's kind of a hope something good happens approach. It's very passive, distracted, and overly tolerant of missed opportunities. So the drifter is driven by default. We're not like designing anything. We're not designing our day. We're not designing a solution. And then we're not making progress, which then does tend to lead to unhappiness, disappointment, depression, and just a life not lived to the fullest. Versus what's possible for you is to become a builder. You, your children, and I would encourage you to hang around other builders, because who you hang out with, you become like them. Your community around you is so pivotal. And so I'd encourage you to hang out with people that are doing big things. And I call people that are doing big things builders. So what builders do is they see time as a seed, and they want to sow that seed so it bears good fruit. If you want to jot this down, here's a good note. Thoughts, words, dollars, and deeds are seeds, as well as time. So I guess, yeah, time, thoughts, words, dollars, and deeds are seeds. We want to sow them in good soil to reap good fruit. And so this looks like putting intention behind everything you do, putting some more intention and structure and support and guidance to how you're using your time, how you're using your ideas, how you're using your talents. What are you creating? Now, this is not just building confidence for kids, it builds confidence for everybody. It builds confidence for adults. This is operating from stewardship, not a place of hope it all works out and stress and being frantic. This is being intentional and following through. As well as builders, they start small, they start now, and they let it grow big. I think there's an amazing saying. It says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago or today. You see, we got to start putting some seed in the ground so something can begin to grow and sprout, shoot, and then we get some fruit. But if we wait and delay, we're just, again, putting off decision making. We're drifting, and we're not designing a life that we actually want to live. Versus being a builder, we are living by design. We're living by being proactive and prayerful and driven by purpose. You see, the builder does not wait for the perfect conditions. They build anyways. They get started, and they start building. They start doing something profitable and purposeful and productive. They feel that progress. It makes them happy. They keep going and purpose driven. When you're purpose driven, you are living a life that is worth living, my friend. And you start to create something called legacy and momentum. And so, what happens when you are a drifter or when you are a builder, all determines what you'll decide. Like, what kind of summer do you want to have? What kind of season do you want to have? Go ahead and just put in the comments, like, what is it that you want for this season? Do you want to be a drifter or do you want to be a builder? You guys are lighting up this chat. Wow. Builder, 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 builder. Please, God. Yes. Yes. I want my kids to be builders so that they can start building a legacy and creating skills to learn how to operate in the economy you're talking about, Ruthie. I love this. Awesome. Yes. Amazing. Okay. So you decide. The cool thing is you get to decide. You either will make a decision towards design, or you'll make a decision towards default. And the cool thing is, as kingdom people, we can make a decision and we can let the Holy Spirit start to do the rest. But we have to make a decision. We get to choose. And so I want to share with you guys something that I have coming up for you guys to support you in this summer, and it's called the Kingdom Business Bootcamp. Okay, this is the Kingdom Business Bootcamp. You might be thinking, like, Ruthie, what is that? I want to break it down for you, what it is, and share with you guys what's possible for you and your children, because we're building here. We're not drifting. We're building. So, the Kingdom Business Bootcamp. I want to define those three words for us real quick, because although we all have the same vocabulary, we have different dictionaries in our heads, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So, kingdom means king's domain, king's dominion. So because we're going to do things God's way, we're going to do it the kingdom way. We're gonna serve before we sell. We're going to create solutions to problems. We'll get into that in a second. But kingdom, king's dominion, king's domain, to take dominion means to use your impact and your influence for good, to own the space. I want you to take your hand, put it on your heart, and just say, I'm going to own the space. Just tap your chest and just, I'm going to own the space. I'm going to own the space. I'm going to take dominion. When you have a kingdom, it's the dominion of the king. And you here are an ambassador of the King, of Kings, of the Creator. And we get to represent him as his ambassador by taking dominion, by taking ownership of the space that he's given us. And the space that God's given you is your time, your talent, and your treasure. God has given all of us time, talent, and treasure. Time is a measurement of just that we all have, that we all live by. Talents, well, different skills, abilities, ideas, and treasure. Treasure are just the things that you enjoy. You know, again, your family, your health, your wealth, your ideas, your intellectual property. Those are all parts of your treasure. So when you are operating in kingdom, you're operating and taking dominion and creating impact and influence and owning the space. Business is purpose-driven value creation. That's all it is. It's solving problems for profit. So if you are a business owner like me, you are solving problems for profit. And I want to encourage you to help your children identify problems and then create solutions and then sell solutions to people who need it. That's business, right? That's just simply business. And the reason I called this a boot camp is because this is not a course. This is a whole experience. This is a 30-day action-based, coach-supported sprint. It's meant to kind of be like a workout. And the whole goal is to help you work out what ideas you have that you could turn into income within a 30-day period. So within the span of 4 weeks. And so in this Kingdom Business Bootcamp, what we're going to do is we're going to take some ideas and we're going to turn them into income within 30 days. And I'm going to take you by the hand, hold you by the hand every step of the way, and help you to create a business, to launch a business. You or your children launching a business or businesses independently or together. And so let me break down for you how this works. Again, with it being a Kingdom Business Bootcamp, we're also going to be creating with our Creator because God's given you gifts that you get to discover, develop, and deploy. If you're going to be a purposeful builder, you get to discover the gifts that God's put in you, develop yourself for those gifts, and then deploy those gifts to serve the world around you. So we're going to be creating with our Creator, praying that God gives us wisdom and revelation and knowledge, and then developing ourselves to represent him well in the marketplace by doing marketplace ministry, which is commencing in business, solving problems for profit, helping people, and being a good representation of the King. And so what we do is we're going to create solutions to a problem. You're going to see a problem in the world and you're going to create a solution to it. That's what business is solving a problem in the market. Or, you could also get in the game of the creator economy and jump in on the trends that are already converting and generating cash in the marketplace. So, and you guys just tell me, what are the trends that you guys see in the marketplace right now in this creator economy? Courses, YouTube influencers, yes. Affiliate marketing, TikTok, yep. So ebooks. I have been in the creator economy space for 3 years, and you're right on the money with what you're saying, that people can jump in right now at every entry level and hit it big. Yes, and go back to Daniel. I was reading a book by Daniel Priestley, and actually I wasn't reading his book. I heard him say this in one of his trainings. He mentioned that with the creator economy right now, big business corporate brands are diminishing in value, and what's growing in value is personal brands. And so that looks like, again, remember, the barrier to entry of this creator economy is low, but it's never been easier to be distracted. But with the entry level being low, that means the market is wanting more personal brands. They want more personal stories, like the homesteading family, or the family that is, kind of the off-grid, or the kid that creates flower bouquets and knocks on doors and sells door to door. Like, people are wanting more content and more business like that versus like another Coca-Cola commercial or Nike ad, right? Like personal brands are a huge trend right now. And so what's also converting and generating cash are tutorials, how-to videos, affiliate marketing, starting your own community based on an interest that you hold, and then just talking about it. So this is really cool because your kid could get money, could create a community around like coloring. Your kid could develop their own coloring book. You could develop a coloring book on Canva. Your kid could learn Canva. Like think about your children being builders and learning skills that would help them pay the bills, like learning how to use Canva, learning how to responsibly use AI, learning how to create a product, communicate its value, sell it, and then like manage the money. Like these are the things I'm talking about. So, like, what happens when you have this business boot camp in place? Like, well, let's talk about like without it and then with it. So, without a purpose for your summer, we waste time, right? There's lost passion, lost purpose, emotional spiral. Your mind's not as sharp and fortified. We miss opportunities to learn, to grow. You may miss opportunities to disciple your child. You might lose belief in your ability to make an impact. You see everybody else out there living their life, but you're like, what am I doing over here? Versus when you have something like a coach who has a map, like a guide who has a map that can help you get a result, like the Kingdom Business Bootcamp, you can launch a real business. Like we can help you launch a real business together. Also, we're going to be talking about faith-based leadership skills that will help you to start your business, sell your products or services, and then we can have a discussion about scaling. But all that develops inside of you and or your children, leadership skills. Also, this helps you to earn income. Right? Like, who wants to help their little babies like learn to be productive and prosperous in our economy today? Like my parents, they're like, if you want something, like earn the resources to go get it, and I did, and those taught me, valuable lessons, and I learned some amazing skills. Furthermore, when you do this with your family, you guys bond together over a shared mission. It actually brings camaraderie and community back to the home, which fosters a stronger identity for you and your kids, and your confidence soars and is boosted, and your children have a sense of ownership, not entitlement, but ownership, like responsibility. So a question I want to pose to you is, what if instead of like just consuming content all summer, you created it, or your kids created it, or both? What if instead of like watching other people and watching leaders and creators, what if you became one? What if your kids became one? This is really the power of the Kingdom Business Bootcamp. I'm just going to check the chat real quick. We're going live in a couple different places, so I love this. How do I get in this? I'll tell you in a second how you get in. Will this work for all my kids? Oh, well, I'll address that. I love what you're talking about, Ruthie. This is really powerful. Allowing kids and parents to launch a business with a time frame, that's super, super helpful. Have you seen results with this before? And or what does this look like for us to jump in with our summer schedule? Yes. Okay, I'll get to that. Amazing. Awesome. So how we set this up is we implement my 4C framework. So I have 4 C's that allow us to kind of walk from having no summer idea to like having a started and profitable first sell business by the end of the summer, within 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So to go from overwhelm, like boredom, wasted time, being a drifter, to being a builder, a creator with confidence, cash flow, some clarity, some purpose. Here's what I have identified that we need. And this is a boiled down version of what I offer my clients who pay me 5 figures to walk them through this process. So this is like a tested, proven, golden path. So first is we're going to identify the concept. And we're going to find an idea, clarify who we serve. So what's the concept? who are we serving, and then we're going to develop an offer. And we're going to also get really, really clear. So get really clear on the concept of our business, who we're serving, but also our vision. Like what is your vision for your product, your service, your program? What is your vision for your client? What's your vision for you as a builder? It says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain, so that he who reads it can run to it. You see, when we can write the vision and make it plain, we can attract business pretty effortlessly. Then the second step is to create. So first is we identify and get clarity on our concept. The second thing is to create. To build a product or a service, we're going to keep it real simple, keep it real dialed in and tight. We're going to make it excellent. This could be a digital product, a physical product, a service-based product. And so the thing is, like, we help you ideate, so it gets your ideas out, but then we figure out like which one are you going to choose, and then we get after it, we get it up and running and going. Step 3 is to connect. So concept, create, connect. When we connect, we're going to connect with our words to our community. So we're going to work on communication as well as our community. We're going to learn how to market to our ideal clients, to serve people with your offer. What are the words that are going to help you to enroll people into buying your thing? This is where you serve others with solutions, but we first have to be able to articulate and call out to our audience, who are we? Who are we helping? How are we helping them? What's the payoff of your product or your service? And this really helps people make their first sales. And so we'll be giving you some templates and some activities to help you get started there. And then the fourth step is cash, helping you to make your first sales, track your income, steward with wisdom, and kind of some guidance on how to scale it, how to multiply it. So teaching kids how to earn, give, save, spend with purpose. So that's the Kingdom Business Bootcamp, and that's utilizing a framework which is called the 4 C's: clarity on your concept, creating your service or your product, connecting your communication to your community, and then cash, how to receive money and what to do with it when you do. And the cool thing about this is I'm going to be lacing in kingdom principles upon every single precept, so that your child or you or both will be learning leadership skills from Scripture. And Scripture is truth, and truth sets you free, and it's timeless. It works all the time. So on top of this being a training, you might be thinking, like, how's this all going to come together? So here's how this all breaks down. With this being a 4-week program, a 30-day program, here's exactly what your family will receive. The first thing is a 5 bite-sized trainings that are short, simple, faith-filled, to help you create, walk through the 4C framework of getting clarity on your concept, creating it, communicating about it, and connecting it to your community, as well as, how are you going to receive payment? So we're going to be doing trainings, breaking it real down, making it real simple, breaking it down, short, simple, bite-sized trainings. That will be like the first week of the boot camp, giving you time to get everything set up properly. And then followed by 3 weeks of guided implementation. This is where we take what we've already established and then we get it out there, we launch it, we serve people with it. And that's the whole goal, is to help you make your first sale. So think of it this way, and I want you to write this down: one idea, one product, first sale. That's the whole goal, while learning business, leadership skills, and articulating and reflecting, articulating value, reflecting on what you're getting out of the whole experience, building connections, all that good stuff. Some people have been wondering, like, obviously you might have something like an appointment or a vacation or a trip that comes in within those 3 weeks of guided implementation, where I will have office hours to support you and your children, an hour every single day to bless you guys, to help you get going. This is a crazy amount of access I'm giving you guys so that you're able to really soar and scale with ease and like have results faster. One of the heartbeat of my business is to help people have success sooner. So that's what this does, is having those office hours for the guided implementation, helping you to work through any things you're experiencing, troubleshoot, and start taking the next step forward. For those of you who do have other things on the schedule for the summer, as I can imagine everyone does, there are replays available, as well as there'll be a business resource center for you and for the whole family. And I just want to answer a couple questions before we wrap it up here. This really is not just a summer activity. This is a legacy building lab. This is a legacy building activity, and something you'll be able to use for years to come. Some things I'm throwing in just to bless you guys is a parent engagement guide. Whether you do this side by side with your child or not, this is something that you'll be able to kind of ask them some questions and see where they're at. Like, what's their process? Where are they at in becoming a builder and creating something that they can then go and sell. So this will give you some strategic questions, so you gotta like try and think of it and figure it all out. Like, you ever like drive your kids to school and then like you pick them up and you're like, how's your day? And they're like, fine. And you're like, I need to ask a better question. How was your day? More like, hey, I know that you had a math test today in Mr. Williams' class. How'd that go? Like, it's a better question, so you get a better answer. Your kid's like, oh yeah, I did okay, or I did great, or I didn't study enough, and opens up more conversation. I'll be giving you guys a parent engagement guide so that you'll be able to ask, reflect on questions yourself and or guide your child through answering questions so that they can get way more out of it. When we reflect over something while we're going through it, we get so much value out of it. The next thing I have for you guys is the Emerging Entrepreneur Success System. So I'm going to be actually setting you guys up with templates and with a playbook so that you guys are ready to go. That will come equipped with our proprietary CEO creed that we will do. Have some mindset training in there, as well as some important reminders and spaces for you to document things and implement your 4C framework and all that good stuff. So that's the Emerging Entrepreneur Success System. I have implemented this success system with my high-end clients, and they rave about this thing. So I think it'll be a huge asset to you and your family. And then we have the CEO Creed, which helps to bring all of us together under one, declaration after the next, precepts that really get embedded into who you are, and you become this amazing builder who is unstoppable. The next thing we have inside there is the Idea to Income Roadmap, mapping out each step of the way for your child or you to create income this summer within 30 days. The Lead Like a Leader playbook, where we get into the principles, the biblical principles that support your success, as well as these office hours that will be intermittently throughout the implementation weeks to help you to crush it. The whole goal of this, you guys are just showing me so much love in the chat. Thank you. You guys love it. Yeah. How do I get it? How do I, my whole family? Yes. Okay. I'll get into that. So the whole goal for this is simplicity. This is not a full-blown curriculum. This is a movement in 5 steps. This is a movement that helps you to get your business started in less than 30 days, right? That's what this is. This is also about speed. This is helping you get your first business or your children's first business up and running in just a few weeks. So this is like not a huge curriculum, but it's just the necessary parts that you need to get going and get started, because success loves speed. Money loves speed. Action takers are money makers. So I wanted to help you in that regard, as well as support. I've done all the heavy lifting for you. So all you got to do is just jump in, implement, follow directions, and start creating and receiving cash. So I want to handle a few questions that I've got in the chat. And then I will share with you guys how you guys can come on board. So, will this work for my kids? So yes, yes, that's a good question. This system is for real families with real schedules. This is for real people. And with being an educator previously for 8 years, as well as coaching children, teenagers, adults, I engage you, and then get you going on the next thing to help you stay in action, stay in decision, stay in momentum, and keep making progress. So yes, it's just for your kid. As long as your child, I would say, is about 8 and up and can behave and conduct themselves properly on a Zoom call, they will be able to crush it. I'm not sure I'm equipped to help my children. Well, that's why we created the parent engagement guide. So you'll have support too. We got you. We got you. I'm nervous how much this is. Can we afford it? So a question I like to ask myself is not can we afford it? I like to ask myself the questions like, can I afford not to do it? That's a question I like to ask myself sometimes is like, can you afford another summer? Could you afford another summer of like scrolling and lost potential? That might be just another way to like reframe it or think about it, because really procrastination is expensive. And as I said earlier, action takers are money makers. And so what if we could harness your ideas and turn them into income? And same for your kids. And like would it be powerful and potent for you to make an investment in your family so that you guys could have income for potentially years to come? You know, and that's not an income statement. I can't make an income promise because then you could sue me. But you know, this is work. This will take work. I can't promise results, but this is the fast track to helping you to create what revenue for your family. So for some of you guys, you already know this is the right fit for your family. For those of you wondering what's next, you know, I can we can hop on a call together and see if this is going to be helpful for you guys, to support you guys. But I do know for a lot of you guys, you're already blowing up the chat, saying yes. So I have opened up some spots for families who are ready to enroll today. This is the first round of the Kingdom Business Bootcamp. Again, I've ran this program at the cost of 5 figures, you know, more than $10,000, and I'm boiling it down. It's not $10,000. It's not $10,000. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's like not even a tenth of that. But what I've done is I have created this to be the first round of this most supportive, most affordable version I could to help more entrepreneurs and emerging entrepreneurs get in the game. Because again, the future is online. The future is your children. The future is faith driven. And I believe that we should be developing both business and children at the same time. And so if you are ready to raise up a generation of confident, creative, kingdom CEOs, little emerging entrepreneurs, I want you to go ahead and click the link I'm putting in the chat right now. Let's go ahead and drop that for you guys. Okay, there it is. And you know, I want to share with you that your children are more capable than you might think. And you know how creative they are. And even kids that have been kind of slow to start, just to see them engage and get going, they become unstoppable forces. It's amazing. Your child's potential is just going to like explode as they have opportunities like this. And your family could be one decision away from a summer of purpose and profitability. So somewhere, you know, for some of you, this is your opportunity to jump in. And if you are watching this as a replay somewhere around this video, there's a chance for you to enroll, to click the link. And hey, let's do something different this summer. Let's build a business and let's do it together. I love you guys so much. Jump in for this Kingdom Business Bootcamp. I'm going to open it for questions, and I'm so excited to serve you.